Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Max Person, and today we're taking a deeper dive into deWiz by looking closer at the transition number from deWiz. This was the part of deWiz that really made me fall in love with the unit the first time I ever tried it on myself and on my students. Let's get going and see what I'm talking about. So I got deWiz ready, and let's talk about transition. So first things first, what is the transition? Well, the transition of the golf swing is when you go from your backswing into your downswing, all right? And deWiz says that we have three different options right here, which means that I can either go down on the same plane that I swung the club back, I can go down over the top, which a lot of you are going to recognize when I move the hands and club away from me when I start the downswing towards the golf ball, and I can swing the club under the plane or under the top when I come down, where the hands and club move backwards or behind me before I swing down to the golf balls. So those are the three different options we have, or rather the three different ways we can swing the club down from the top of the backswing into the downswing. And deWiz measures this and gets this number from comparing the backswing plane to the way your deWiz device moves when you start the downswing. So if you move your deWiz away from you, that's over the top. If you move it behind you, that's under the top. And if you move it down the same plane that you swung the club back, that's on plane transitions. That's the three choices you get. Let's look a little bit closer on the data. To help us understand the transition number, I'm gonna hit a few shots first just to gather some data. So I'm heading into discovery. I have my 6-iron in hand. And what I'm gonna do is hit 3 shots, and we'll see what my transition looks like. Waiting for the ready signal.
Transition, +2 centimeters.
That's +2 centimeters.
Transition
swing.
on plane.
That's on plane. I tend to see when I'm hitting it best, once again, knowing your numbers, when I'm hitting it best, I'm pretty much an on plane transition. I might be 1 or 2 centimeters behind or under the top when I'm hitting it really good, but that's about it. Another good one.
Transition on plane.
Another one on plane. And actually the two last ones have been really, really good. And what I want to do right now is to favor these swings, or favorite mark these two swings in order for me to go back and look at the data in the future. So what I'm going to do, and this is kind of neat, I can just press the button up here and I've marked it for favorites in the app so I can go back and look at it. So if I'm hitting another 100 balls right here, I can still go back and look at that one swing that I really liked, and don't have to go into the app to do that. So my transition, when I'm hitting it good, as I already mentioned, I'm on plane most of the time, or even a little bit under the plane, might be a centimeter or two above plane, but that's about it. It doesn't happen too much for me there. It's going to be different with a driver compared to a wedge, but I'm around neutral or around the on-plane transition. However, this is where we come to the huge part about knowing your numbers. When I know that, if I'm hitting it poorly for a day, I can go back, I can check. If all of a sudden I'm coming from -5, that's 5 under the plane or under the top, that's going to be an issue for me. Or if I'm starting swinging it 5 centimeters over the top, that's going to be an issue for me. So that's the power of knowing your numbers. And once again, you might think that going to 0, being that, well, that on-plane transition is the best or is perfect. But once again, that's very different for different players. And we can see some elite ball strikers being 2-3 centimeters over the top. We can see some of them being 2-3 centimeters under the top. We can see some of them being on plane in the transition. It's all different ways to swing the golf club. But what we probably want to see is a bit closer to that net 0 value, because that is what's going to help us be more consistent and help us keep the ball under control. So if we have 5 over or under, that's probably going to be more of a problem than being 2 over or under, but we're going to strive to get closer to that on-plane transition. If you're looking into the app and the number, you're going to see that an over the top number is actually going to be a positive number, and under the top is going to be a negative number. So what that means is if I'm trying to hit a big one of those big over the top moves right here, you're going to see
+13.
that I'm +13. That's a positive number in the sense of, if you're looking at the number itself, it might not be that positive when you look at the swing. But if I'm trying to do it the other way around, you're going to see negative numbers. If I'm trying to come from way away from the inside, I'm trying to be way under the top at the, well, in my transition. Let's see what happens.
-4.
-4, so that's a negative number right there. So that's how you read, and you can see the difference from the number in the app. Also good to know is that the transition number is very dependent on a good setup from you. So if you don't spend enough time waiting for the ready signal in your setup, that's gonna mess up the transition number for you, and you're not gonna get a read on just that number. So remember that, give it that extra second, make sure that you wait for it, make sure that you hear the sound before you're going, and you're golden.
Transition on plane.
What we're also gonna see in the transition numbers for those more interested in actually hitting a different ball flight is that we can see a bit of a combination between your transition number and the ball flight you're probably going to hit. So if I'm seeing a positive number, if I'm seeing +4, +5, +6, we're most likely going to see a fade or a slice kind of, or cut kind of shot, maybe even a slice. So if I'm trying to hit a fade right here, you're probably going to see on the deWiz that my numbers get a bit positive, and my ball should fly off to the right.
+5.
So that's +5. The wind might hold it a little bit, but that's the fade biased kind of swing. If I'm really trying to draw that ball or even hook it, what I'm going to try to do is actually get more from the inside. I'm going to get more under the plane, and you should see in the deWiz a negative number from that swing. Usually I don't need help doing this, but I'll exaggerate it for you.
-2.
So it's a -2 number, just a little bit. Nice little draw right there. It's a minus, and we get a different ball flight. So that's how you can also see how different numbers in the transition from the deWiz is going to create different, or rather give you the opportunity to create different ball flights when you're hitting it. Using the deWiz for a player who tends to be over the top, using the biofeedback from the deWiz to help them feel when they're doing something wrong and what we actually want them to do, that is the power of the deWiz once again. For that kind of golfer, the transition number in the deWiz is key. There's nothing that comes even close to it. I used it several times with golfers to help them bring their swing from +10, 11, 12 down to almost on-plane transition. And that makes a huge difference for their ball striking, their ball control, and of course their enjoyment of the game. So it's a huge part, and nothing comes close to deWiz right here. Getting that feedback, getting that biofeedback even before they hit the golf ball, and helping them find their way of transitioning down into the downswing, that is powerful. And that's what I'm going to show you right now. Not on myself, because as you've already seen, I don't have that problem. But what I'm going to do is bring in my girlfriend Anna, who does have that problem, and we're going to show you how I use deWiz to help her hit the ball better. All right, everyone. So this right here is my girlfriend Anna. Hi, Anna.
Hi.
And I'm going to take help from you today to show our viewers how we like to use the deWiz and the transition number.
Yep.
You know that you got a little bit of an over-the-top thing going on, right?
Yeah, I know.
You know, we've been struggling with that for years.
Yes.
We have, and the beautiful thing, let's start with the app right away. You can have different profiles active in the deWiz app, so I've changed from my numbers to Anna's numbers. We got Anna's previous swings right here. Then what we're going to do, just as I did with any players, is going to head into Discovery. What kind of club do you have right there? Number of club?
Iron 9.
9 iron. All right. So we're going to see just 3 or 4 swings.
Yeah.
Just your normal swings. So you know the drill. We're set up to the ball. We wait for the ready signal, and then we swing. All right.
All right.
Yep.
Transition, +10 centimeters.
So that is a great example of the knowing your numbers and the non-perfect numbers out there, because she's +10 right now, and that's not close to her worst number, but she hits the ball pretty well. She plays with a 9 handicap. All right, one more.
+9.
+9, so we're getting better. The practice we've done actually helped you, because I think we used to be around 14, 15 sometimes.
I think so.
Yep. So this is actually good for Anna. And once again, it's very personal preference. She hits it pretty straight when she hits it well. Yep.
Oops.
+15.
There we go,
Oh.
+15. That's probably the worst one yet.
Yeah, it is.
So that's where Anna's at. That's her knowing her numbers. And as I mentioned, we've been working with deWiz for about a month. The first swings Anna took with the 9 iron was around 15, even 16 sometimes. So she has quite a bit of that over the top move. What we're going to do right now is we're going to use the practice and learn mode. Of course, we're gonna use transition because that's the goal today, right?
Yeah, it is.
And right now, you were around 10 to 15. So we're gonna have your over the top margin. Actually, we're gonna start at 9. So what that means is that if Anna swings the club more than 9 centimeters away from her, rather her deWiz device more than 9 centimeters away, you're gonna get the stimuli from the whiz, right?
Yeah.
You've experienced that before.
I have.
So we know we've already found the perfect stimuli level. Once again, that's very important for Anna to be comfortable when she's swinging, so she doesn't have to be afraid of the stimuli. And that's number 2 for you. So we're gonna set you on number 2. We're gonna, that's 9 hour right there.
Yes.
Practice goal is a maximum of 9 centimeters of over the top move, positive number. All right, you good to go?
Yes, I'm ready.
So set up, and now just to be very cautious right here, we have the stimuli activated, so you're gonna feel it.
Yeah.
Transition.
I feel it.
Plus 15 centimeters.
15.
15, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what we want to avoid, right?
No.
Plus 14.
Plus 14. This ain't unusual in any sort of way. You all know that changing something is a bit difficult, but getting that feedback when you know that you really haven't done anything as well as you could, that's pretty powerful, right?
Yeah, it's really powerful.
And to show you even more power of the whiz, we're actually going to remove the ball right here, because the whiz works just as well without actually hitting a golf ball. So what we're going to do is take a few practice swings, Anna, where we have the same goal. So we're going to try to go under those 9 centimeters
Yes.
without, well, in our downswing. So just wait for the sounds. You can do this at home or anywhere on the course. All right.
No.
Plus 12.
Oh,
Plus 12. All right.
One more.
One more. Yep.
Yeah.
There we
Plus
go.
7.
Plus 7. And do you find it easier to change when the ball isn't there?
Yeah.
Of course you do. That's pretty much every golfer. It's a lot
Much
easier
easier.
to change something when the ball isn't there. So let's do one more.
Plus 6.
Plus 6. So here Anna can actually practice her swing, and once again, it's a lot better doing the practice swings with the feedback from the whiz, right?
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah, because if you had done the practice swings without the feedback, that kind of doesn't give you anything. Here you get to know whether or not you did what we were looking for, and that's gold right there. Give me one more, please.
Plus 7.
Plus 7, all right. So we can see that we're making a difference right here just by actually changing her swing, or rather working with the feedback from the whiz. Do you want to try to hit one?
Yeah. We try one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good.
Plus 6.
So that's plus 6. That brings us down about half, or even more than half than you were before. That's a pretty huge difference right there. Now, of course,
really good.
it's really good, right? And of course, we would like to bring Anna down from, or you down from like the plus 12, plus 14 to maybe 2 or 3 plus, but rather plus 6 than plus 12, right? So what we're going to do with you is that we're going to do a lot of practice swings just to make sure that we find that the feeling that we get with the feedback from the whiz. And just to show the people at home, can you remove the golf club and do the same thing but without a club?
Yes.
Because once again, we can use it with practice swings. We don't even need a golf club. So Anna can set up in her position. It's going to find her setup, and then we can do a swing.
Plus 4.
And right there, we get the feedback from the whiz, just as we would have if we hit a ball with a club. And of course, this is even more easy for Anna to actually change, right? So what we can do, Anna can practice at home. She can practice here in our hotel room just to make sure that she gets the reps in. So maybe she can do 5 minutes at home without even going to the course when she has the whiz on, because that's going to help her improve her game. And eventually we can add the club, and eventually we can add hitting golf balls.
Plus 8.
Plus 8, that's better. And once again, plus 8 is a lot better than plus 12 or 14 that we've been before. So we're gradually going to bring that down. And what we can do, the more Anna practice, the further down we're going to put that maximum limit. So we might go down to your max being 6 or 7 or 5, and eventually getting you down to where we're going to be. All right, thank you very much,
Thank
Mitt.
you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your help, Anna, in showing the power of the transition number from deWiz and the obvious help you can get if you're a golfer who struggles with that over-the-top move. I had several golfers getting the help they need from the feedback or the biofeedback of deWiz, something they can't find anywhere else. It makes it so much more powerful. Getting Anna from those 12 or 14 centimeters down to 7 or 6, that's a great improvement in just a few balls. You can see what you can do if you hit balls for a few weeks or a few months using the feedback. You're going to get closer to that on-plane transition. I can tell you that much. And once again, if you struggle with that over-the-top swing with your driver, if you can't really get the power to the golf ball, this is something you definitely want to check out to help you improve your game faster. Knowing your numbers is powerful, and the transition number is just one of many that you can get from deWiz to help you improve your game. I'd love to hear what you think about deWiz and what you think about the transition number. Is it something that you need for your golf swing? Let me know in a comment down below. And until next time, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.